Hello everybody, it's Digi and May doing a Let's Play! Wow!
Let's gay, if you know what I mean. The only gaming podcast where both co-hosts are suffering from migraines and
death. Oh, I have to be a new type, right?
Yeah.
I could be a human, a Newman, a cast, or a beast. That's
Newman.
Beasts were newly introduced in Phantasy Star universe.
Either a beast or a Newman.
Alright, I think I'm going to be a female Newman. Newmans are good with magic. Let's design us a fucking character here.
So what are we playing here today?
This is Phantasy Star Portable for the PSP, which I have never played before.
I didn't know this existed.
I was probably aware of it at some point in history.
Oh boy, some of those faces are very.
I'm okay with this eye color.
It's like Barnacle Jim faces.
Fucking good old
So,
Jim.
where even is this podcast going to be?
The main channel, right?
Oh, this isn't going to be a care pack thing?
Nah, dog. I want us to have... Okay, look. Here's what inspired this. So, we haven't done a real, like a Let's Play in a while. We were doing these live streams, and initially, I mean, we have been doing live streams. I don't want to say, like, we're done with them.
No, we did one yesterday.
Right. We were
You gotta change her hairstyle before you fuck with her eyes or anything.
Well,
the hairstyle is...
Oh, how do I turn her around? Oh, Jesus. Is there a way to turn her around? Oh.
Yes! Well, some of these are worse than you would find in,
I think I'm just gonna go with the side
in some Western RPGs, where they all have very butch haircuts. Some of these are really bad. That's all good.
Ooh, she's fucking naked.
She's not naked.
We definitely gotta make her darker.
Oh, yeah.
Not that dark.
I think you should
Why
make
is she,
her
like,
darker.
yellow in the middle? Like, she goes from being,
I
like...
think you should make her
I guess
look
it's, like,
very
supposed to be, like,
dark.
an Asian skin tone? But she doesn't have, like, a mulatto tone, which is, like, what I kind of...
Caramel goodness.
Maybe
A little
something like
darker,
this.
a little darker.
A little darker? There we go.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Alright. Oh, we can do the fucking outfit, too. Ugh! What the fuck is that?
It's her jacket.
Oh, that's like the main character of, Ultimate, or, not Ultimate, what the fuck was it called?
It's a Titus.
Pants. Ooh.
Oh, you can make her not wear pants.
Well, I think she's wearing, like, shorts.
Don't know about that. Those look like, drawers to me.
We're going with the fucking, yeah.
Oh, she's all blue.
Yeah, she's gonna be Baroness Blue.
Oh, I think I like the orange. I think the orange is alright.
Oh.
Oh no, not the socks with the socks. Oh, those are like Crocs. Those are like some Newman Crocs.
I think that's as good as we're gonna
Oh,
get.
she has like some stripper
You
shoes.
said you liked the orange?
It's a lot, dude. The orange is a lot.
Orange is pretty good. Oh, actually, those are the ones I liked, not the other blue ones. Oh.
That's good.
Yeah. Cool. Name is going to be... Because I'm probably going to play this... Sorry for all the silence there. We were just listening to the voices.
Yeah, it's very important when you're
how do I
choosing a
capitalize
character to
a
make
fucking-
sure the voice is kawaii as fuck.
Do you see any option for capitalizing your letters?
The one that's a Korean. The Korean one.
What?
If you hit left and right, there's some Korean options.
Yeah, why is there Korean text? It just makes it Korean. It just makes the options Korean. Alright. Interesting. Alright, well, it's also a QWERTY keyboard, which is unusual for a,
How are you supposed to make it capital?
I don't know. Maybe you can't.
What is
Is
shift?
there a
What about
space?
select? What about select?
Select?
Yeah, is that gonna make it? Because it says, yeah, there you go.
Well, now I gotta fucking...
Sorry. It's gonna drive me crazy if it doesn't have a capital.
So anyway, I was trying to explain, we've been doing the live streams, and initially we were doing a Pokemon live stream, which would get edited and posted as like a Let's Play-ish kind of thing. But it's not really a traditional Let's Play, and I like traditional Let's Plays. I enjoy doing them. We kind of, me and Victor, like, brought back Digibros as a, because people have been asking us to do it for a long time. I was like, hey, Vic, why don't you come over and let's play that new Zelda game? It'll be a good excuse for us to play it and buy it.
Yeah, and you just so happen to have already bought it, so...
Right. But, I was in that video. Oh, you have a fucking partner?
Oh, she's cute.
Oh, I love her. Oh, you can change them. I think I liked the first one the best.
I like the first one the best, too.
It was her.
Although the one with the pants is good, too. That one.
This one?
Except for her face.
I don't like her, like, top.
I just liked her pants.
Let's name her... If I'm Baroness Blue, then she's going to be Kyla Red.
Whoa. She is red, too.
That's why I came up with it. Baroness and Kyla are just two names that I use, like, all the time in fictional stories I write and things such as that. Yes, I want to save my created character. So, anyway, my good buddy Give and Take. Oh, there is a multi-mode, but I don't think we'd be able to play without it says you have to use a WLAN, wireless LAN.
Interesting. I wonder how much this game is.
I'm sure it's cheap on the actual PSP, but I don't even have a PSP. Alright, I don't care about the fucking story.
Oh
it's
my
Phantasy
God.
Star Online. Who gives a shit? Oh!
Yes! What the?
Oh my god, it's voiced. This is bizarre. Oh, I can't skip it. Ah!
So, Phantasy Star Online 2, is coming to PC, right, next year?
I hope it's coming to PC.
It's coming to
Is
PC.
it?
It's coming to PC and not 360, Xbox One.
Right.
They don't have a release date yet.
So
It's
hideous.
supposed to be like quarter 1 or 2 in 2020. And the two of us were talking about possibly like playing an MMORPG, and the only two that are, would be interesting to either of us is Final Fantasy 14 or
Phantasy Star
or
2.
this Phantasy Star Online 2, which we have already played, but you have to
I've
patch the
played it pretty
Japanese version.
extensively, but
Would it be worth buying? Is it going to be free for PC? I don't know, but the fact that we
I
have to
think it'll
wait
be free to play.
is sad. I still think it might be fun.
I'd buy it no matter what. I'm
Yeah.
a huge fucking Phantasy Star Online fan.
I'm curious about Final Fantasy 14, but
Yeah,
it's
we
just
could
like
play
we would
that
have
now.
to both buy it, and the base game is not that expensive, but if you want like the newest version,
I mean, it's $60 for everything.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
but we would both have to buy it.
Okay, this is all strange.
So would it really be worth $120 for the two of us to do it? It might be if we get really into it, but I'm curious to wait and to see how much Phantasy Star Online 2 is going to be, because I had a lot of fun playing
I assume
it.
it'll be free to play like it is in Japan.
I hope so.
Because it's a microtransaction model, so...
Yeah.
Holy fuck, there's so much tutorial and headroom on this. I did not expect this. It's certainly not like this in the in me old episodes 1 and 2. Yes, okay, I get it. I could probably figure this out all intuitively by just looking at the menu once I'm in the game.
No way. You gotta do it all here now.
Oh boy. It's this is all strange just because I guess I can't do I guess I have to invite probably somebody to my party first. Yeah, like in ye old Phantasy Star Online for L GameCube, it is there's none of this shit. You actually explore the ship, by yourself. Because the gameplay of this game, from what I saw in the trailers or the stuff I looked up, looked just like a normal Phantasy Star Online. Okay, so it seems like this mission requires the participation of Vivian and Laya. Okay. I probably should have read the tutorial because I don't know how to actually access the menu that they were telling me I had to... There we go. I just gotta hit the fucking start button. Can you talk for me for like a minute while I figure out what the fuck I have to do?
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'm
so,
close.
I'm sort of down to do a Let's Play. I didn't really know where this was going to be posted. I was kind of like, oh, this is just going to go out to patrons, so I'm going to get all intimate and stuff. And then you were like, oh, no, this is going on the main channel. And it's like, oh, this completely changes the tone of this podcast. I'm still for it. It's just kind of like, I felt kind of blindsided.
Oh, thank God, I'm finally playing Phantasy Star Online. Get that shit off the screen. I already did the normal attack.
What is that cute little fox boy?
Fox boy? Whoa. Okay. I have to change my controls real quick.
The guy who's right in the middle of the screen, directly in the middle of the screen.
Oh, I think that's like my mag. Oh, that's right. You can't just
see.
Like save.
It's very cute. It just doing a Let's Play that's going to be on the main channel completely changes this kind of, the product we're creating. Mm-hmm. And it will be compared to other podcast material that has come out in recent time, right? So, I don't know. I wasn't really ready to have a serious, Let's Play, but I'm excited. I like doing them.
Understandable. Okay. Somehow I hadn't even realized that there was options for the right analog control, because I didn't think a PSP had a right analog control. And I was trying to, instinctively I was trying to turn the camera with the right stick, but I had set the right stick to speed up and slow down the game, which is why I had to change it just now. Because I was just like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Everything's terrifying. Okay. Now things should make sense, I hope. Fuck, it's the pad
Both
that
of
turns
those
the camera.
ladies
that's
are so much taller than you. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's adorable. I'm a little fucking baby. That
wasn't even the smallest you could make her either.
No, it was not. Wait, wasn't it? I thought I made her as small as possible.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay, emulators. Beautiful. Now we're fucking cooking with gas.
Now we're rolling.
Alright, this feels like Phantasy Star Online, finally. It took me a while to get into the groove of it. But yeah, what I've been trying to say is that when we did the Digibros Let's Play, I was saying in it I do all these Let's Plays and podcasts where I talk about my life and everything going on with me. So there's no need for me to talk about that kind of stuff with you, Victor. And my good buddy Give and Take was like, well, I watch everything you put out, but there has not been a bunch of podcasts and Let's Plays. What is this podcast and Let's Plays you speak of? Do you speak of patron content, perchance? And I was like, now that I think about it, all the podcasts and Let's Plays I've done lately have either been for care packs, like you thought this one was going to be, or have been the 2 weeks review that we do for patrons. So, and I've also done long ass update videos on Patreon. Basically, if you're not a patron, you've been missing out. I make a lot more stuff for my patrons for the obvious reason that they pay me and they deserve it.
And again, that stuff is more intimate.
Yes.
It does kind of change the nature of what you would talk about.
Very much so.
Going out to 10 people versus something that, can be shared to your grandparents.
Yeah.
As sometimes is the case.
Sometimes the patron stuff gets shared to your grandparents. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you really never know. And, obviously there are certain things that probably wouldn't be appropriate to talk about in a Patreon podcast. But, it feels a lot more casual and there's less of a pressure to deliver you know, it's a niche product that people probably don't care if it's not as engaging, if it's more personal. You know, there's like a little bit of give and take there, but in these kind of things, exactly, a little bit of give and take. Give and take, you should give us $40 a month so we can
yeah, you'll get
mail
everything.
You.
Just pay for the care
Mail you
packs,
the good
bro.
stuff.
Just do it, dog.
Yeah, this is a little advertisement for that. If you actually...
I could also just send him all the patron content, because, like, we created a board... Well, Nate created a board in the PCP Discord specifically for us to post patron content, and I was kind of like, well, the care packs are all physical, so I can't post that, but, like, everything that's on the flash drive I could send to my friends. I just don't have it uploaded anywhere, so it's like I'd have to upload it for them, I guess.
I don't think you should give them $40 worth of content for free.
Like, kind of the idea of the care packs is that it's usually stuff that I'm not sure I even could upload and get away with it, you know?
Right.
Like, movie commentaries and stuff like that. But, where we actually show the movie, I mean to say.
Yes.
Things that might be fair use, but certainly aren't going to be protected on the internet. In any case, yeah, like, I figured... It's true, like, we haven't done a, like, regular Let's Play in a while. I like doing them. People want...
Yeah, when was our last Let's Play? Was it Pokemon Coliseum?
We were doing Pokemon Coliseum on the After Dark channel, I think, early this year, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, no, we didn't ever finish that. Was it because the game started getting...
It's because the game is fucking dog shit. That's why.
I think it was starting to get corrupted, though, right?
Because
I remember, well, it always was
had
fucky.
Issues.
It was always not good.
I think we were, like, towards the end, and it was, like, you would have to just, like, grind relentlessly forever, but you couldn't grind on your computer because of its screen issues, where your computer would crash the emulator, so you couldn't grind. So it was like, we wanted to do...
Yeah, I wanted to catch every single Pokemon in the game, so, like, there's...
And it would have taken, like 20 hours of off-screen grinding or something to like, get to the position we wanted to be in.
I didn't have to do that, though. I could finish off the Pokemon Coliseum Let's Play.
Well, we're already here doing the Phantasy Star.
No, I know. It's just, like, the possibilities are endless. Because I would like to beat Pokemon Coliseum. I have never beaten it. I've had the game since it came out. I pre-ordered the game. It's been with me ever since. It's not particularly a game I like, but I still want to beat it because it's a Pokemon game.
I guess if you really would like to see that, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
You know what? I wish, just to get into a topic here, I wish that every single person who watched my videos had, like was forced or had, like, a prompt come up to tell them what they thought of it. Because
Isn't that what the comments are?
No. The comments are only people who felt the need to express their opinion, and a lot of the times the only people who feel the need to express their opinions are people who think their opinion is not going to be the majority opinion. Like, regardless of whether it is or not, it could be the majority opinion, but they think it's not, and that's why they're saying it. Or they're trying to correct you on something, which is fine. Yeah. But, like, you know, it's just like, damn, my fucking teammate is OP as fuck. Did one of our people die?
The really tall one isn't there.
Where'd she go?
Dead?
She was level 4. Maybe she just left us because she was over-leveled. Maybe she was like, you guys can handle this. I think I remember there being, like, a cutscene popped up, but I just motored through it.
I'm sorry, I talk about Pokemon, I lose track of what is going on around me. That explains a lot of the situations I've gotten myself into, actually.
I'm really just, like, I'm shocked by how, like, I don't remember any of these enemies from any other Phantasy Star games.
They look magical.
Anyway. Yeah, like, I wish people had to state their opinions because... So, I'll tell you about another thing that inspired this, sort of. Because, we did this Digibros, and Gibbon was like, you know, he really likes Digibros. He likes listening to the Let's Plays that I do. He listened to Digi in May. He listened to all that stuff, but he wasn't as interested in the live streams because it kind of feels like you have to be there, you know? And, like, we don't really talk about stuff just because it happens to interest us or be in our mind. We answer
You're just responding
chat,
to,
you know?
to chat.
So it's a very different atmosphere, and it's more fun for the people who are there, for sure. But, like, it's also very profitable. So it's easy to justify doing live streams because the people who are there will give us money, you know?
And it also is a social outlet.
That, too.
Like, there's a social function to doing live streams, just like you know, keeping up with the people who are following you, building relationships with people who are paying, you know, for you to make stuff. And, you know, it's good to keep up with those people. It's fun. I get some kind of, like, social gratification out of doing it. So, like, there's more reasons to do a live stream, but, like, it's not the same content as doing a Let's Play.
No.
But, like, I think a lot of people would rather be interacting with the content they're consuming than just watching people have a good time.
But at the same time, it's so incidental, because it's like you have to be there at the moment, you know? And it's like if you miss it, it just feels like, oh, well, I missed out, you know, so fuck it. I don't want to hear about it, you know, like... I totally get having that mentality, because I don't fucking watch live stream recordings. I can't stand that kind of content.
No, absolutely
you know?
not, because, I mean, it's not like the person hadn't put any effort into it after the fact. Like, even if the Pokemon Nuzlocke's, like, I can't, like, transform the content to make it not be a live stream. It's never going to feel like a Let's Play.
Right.
Like, no matter how much editing goes into it, no matter how much silence and weird things I cut out, like... Still, the driving force behind our discussion is the fact that we're responding to chat.
Or some form. These are like evolved Boomas. It's like the Boomas and the evil sharks got fused somehow.
They're called Del
Saban.
Del Saban? Or is that the move?
No, that's them.
Okay.
Because whatever you're targeting gets
I see.
Gets their name up there, I think. That's how it worked.
That's why I thought that was the case, but then some attack moves were showing up in there, and I wasn't really sure.
So I understand it, but also there was a conversation that came up where somebody said in my Discord, like, what's better, Digibros or Digi and May, or I Am Games? And there was one guy who said, oh, I like Digibros the most. There was one guy who said, I like I Am Games the most.
Each one more.
And there was one guy later who said that his favorite... Co-Pilot Coco said his favorite of all the Let's Plays was the fucking Bloodborne Let's Play. And I was like, no one else feels the way you do. You're the only one. But, like, for me, and like, I'm... Because I've been doing this job for a long time... I'm pretty good at keeping it in mind that, like, hey, don't listen to, like, what one guy says and expect that to be, like, the common thought, you know? Like, there's always going to be people who feel differently. Cool. You know, like, if nobody liked it, there wouldn't be likes on the video, you know? Like, if one guy says, oh... I liked this thing, I like this type of content better, and then you stop doing that, the new, like, let's say I made a new type of video that I never made before, and, like, the first reaction I got to it was negative, and I internalized that, and then I stopped doing that new type of content because I think, oh, people didn't like it. Well, then, I'll get somebody saying, why haven't you made that thing in a while? I really liked that thing. And I'm kind of like, well, why didn't you say so? You know, because if you don't say... But, like, why? It's not normal to say so. You don't normally contact a creator and tell them how much you loved their work, you know?
Right,
There are some people who send fan mail, but it's not normal to do that with media, you know?
No.
But, like... And you know, you have certain metrics, like the view count is a great metric. You could say, oh, it got a lot of views, people liked it. But, like, I rely on Patreon first and foremost, and the patrons all have very different perspectives on what they like, you know? A lot of the time, the reason that they're paying is so that there's an incentive for me to make something that doesn't get a lot of views, you know? Mm-hmm. One of the more popular series with my patrons is the Whirling Dervish podcast, you know? So, like... If I just looked at it and I said, oh, Whirling Dervish only gets 10,000 views, so I'm not going to do it anymore, you know, then obviously I would have canceled it. But because it got such a strong response, like every episode I post, people are like, oh my god, the Whirling Dervish is why I patron you. It's like, okay, gonna keep it going.
You gotta really look at that stuff, like, more wholesomely, like, collectively. You can't just only rely on one indicator.
Like, obviously in that case... It's because the content is good enough for people to actually have a strong emotional reaction and feel the need to say something, which is ideal, you know? Like, I don't think a Let's Play is going to really inspire that, But there are people who would miss it if it was gone, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, oh, well, you know, this isn't my favorite thing. I'm not, like, passionate about it. I'm not necessarily paying you just to do this. But, you know, if you can find time for it, I'd like you to do it. And I enjoy doing it. So.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy consuming Let's Plays.
Yes.
If the people are interesting and have a dynamic I resonate with.
I feel like they've been on the decline. Like,
yeah, because it's so much more profitable to do live streams.
It really is.
Why would somebody do a Let's Play when they could make 6 times the amount of money immediately by doing a live stream? And then not have to worry about editing that content.
I mean, literally, if one person gives us $5 during a live stream, it will probably be more than the ad revenue we'd make off of a Let's Play.
Yes.
Like, literally one super chat. But, like you said, they're not comparable. Like, they're two different types of content. And, like, even if people wouldn't necessarily, like, patron me for a Let's Play, I still think it's, like, it contributes to the overall feeling of, like, oh, yeah, I know what's going on with Digibro. We're hanging
definitely.
out. We're fucking, you know, we're having a time. We're talking about the nature of what it's like to be a YouTuber.
What the fuck
is going on with this fucking box?
Not opening. It's like the witch.
That's what she said.
It's like the witch from the Zelda game where you have to like hit it from the right angle.
Oh yeah. Dude, no, you know what pissed me off? Okay, so like obviously Victor for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, Digibros is my old Let's Play series. Me and my brother Victor used to do Let's Plays because I realized that, you know, this will get more views than Digibros will if it's going on the main channel. We used to have a show called Digibros that ran for years. We did 2 episodes a day for a long time. I was really proud of the podcast, but it was never really going anywhere. And, like, I didn't know how to promote it. It never really grew. So I kind of, you know, well, eventually I moved away. And that's pretty much what made it stop, is that I didn't live there anymore to, you know, do it with Victor. But
yeah,
now
but you
that I live here
continued
again,
uploading to that channel.
Yes. We did Digi and May on that channel. And then Victor and his girlfriend, Hope, had started a show called Vic and Hope.
Fiancé.
Well, now they are. But, like, you know, so the channel became the Vic and Hope channel, and they still do Let's Plays there. And that's pretty much the only Let's Plays we still even watch, because, like, I'm not going to watch Game Grumps, and nobody else I follow is persistently putting them out. I mean, Endless Jess puts them out as patron exclusives. I don't usually end up getting around to them, though. I'd like to. I always read his write-ups. Man, can I just say, there is nobody who it's more satisfying to be a patron of than Endless Jess, because his patron write-ups are just gold. Wait, what does this say? I need another one? Didn't I just pick one up? Well, I guess not. Maybe that's not the one that I got or something. But
it's hard to follow since you skip through most of the dialogue and everything happens really fast.
How do I open the map?
Select.
No, select puts me in first person.
Oh, that's odd.
That's odd.
Why would you ever choose to play like that?
Well, you can't. You have to just look around. It's just like a first person look mode. I saved
That's
state,
weird.
apparently. Oh, I have spells. I didn't even fucking think about it. Yeah, I don't know how to fucking make the map bigger, though. Maybe I have to click a button. I don't know if you can even click the buttons on the PSP. Anyway, I don't know anything about a PSP. That's kind of why I'm playing this. Are there any plot threads of what I've been talking about that I should conclude before I move on to talking about the PSP?
Alright, we were talking about why this is a Let's Play. Why we are making a Let's Play. Why, you know, any of that. But, like, I can just remember that we were talking about that, and you can continue talking about PSP.
Well, I'm just thinking if there was anything left to say. Like, it basically was just that because of the fact that, you know, Hippo was saying, like, oh, you should, you know, make a Let's Play because he's a fan of it, and, like, he was excited about new Digibros, and, like, then people were saying, like, oh, I think this one's better, and I was like, well, Digi and May is my favorite one. Like, I like Digibros, I enjoy doing it, but, like, I like Digi and May because I think we just pay more attention to what one another are saying than me and Victor do, you know?
Yeah, it's more of a conversation. But, like, again, I like Digi Bros more than Digi and May, because I really think your brother's cool, and I like to hear you guys talk, and I like the kind of attitude you have together, because it reminds me of, like, talking to my siblings. We definitely don't have a sibling relationship, you know, as much as we like to pretend. As much as the internet AI likes to, you know,
yeah, we fucking
suggest that.
There's this, like, AI program. What is it called? It's like a website.
I don't know, but it's not. It went down yesterday.
Oh, they already took it down?
Yeah, they already took
Damn.
it down, but it was like a experiment to see what the problems with, like, AI facial recognition, you know, what kind of problems that creates.
Well, it's like, what does a search engine interpret you as? Like,
Yeah.
put in your face, and we'll tell you, like, what, like, an AI recognition thinks you are. And it was really entertaining. And you, at one point, you got mulatto on one.
Yeah, I wanted to use a picture of me without any makeup on, like my face straight on the camera. I did it. Said it was a mulatto.
And when you put in one with both of us, it clarified I was a beard and you were a little sister. But what it meant by beard is someone who, like, conceals someone else. Like if a woman goes out with a guy so that he to hide the fact that he's gay, that is a beard, apparently. And I was like, whoa. It was fascinating.
It was very fascinating. I did 10 laid, and she was a patient, a sick person who needs help.
It was a person in need of medical assistance.
Yeah.
That's what it said. That was pretty funny, too. I want to open up the map to figure out where I need to go, but I'm not sure how... Oh.
Yes, you did that.
What did I do?
You just went to your save states. Hit continue.
Continue how? How do I do... Okay, thank God. I was really scared.
What PSP emulator do you have?
PPSSPP.
I see. I think that's the same one that you can get
It runs
on
really
your phone.
beautifully.
But, like, PSP emulation is amazing.
Dude, I was so shocked. Okay, we're just going to move on to talking about that. I think I'm done talking about why we're doing a Let's Play. I think people get it. So I never got into the PSP at all. Did you ever play a PSP?
No, I never even saw one in public.
Wow, amazing.
I saw one at, GameStop, but, like, I didn't even think anybody used one. Like, I'd always see they have games.
Oh, shit.
They'd always be making
Real
games
shit.
for it, and it seemed like the shelf life of, like, titles coming to the system was just, like, way longer than anything else. Like, I feel like they just made PSP games, like, way longer than for anything else.
Funny you say that, because it doesn't seem like there's actually that many games that were released on the PSP. I think that was one of the problems.
And then there's, like, the
it didn't have a
PSP
huge
Vita,
library.
right, or whatever?
Yes, there's the Vita afterwards, which was, like...
Dude, I've never seen one of those.
The Vita is actually pretty good, but yeah, both of them performed way better in Japan, I think, especially the Vita. The PSP definitely, both versions of it, I think underperformed in the US. And, like... the biggest problem with it is the UMD discs are, like, I think they're a shit system because they have really bad load times. And, like, so my experience with the PSP was that I did not own one, but my brother Victor did. And he had played, I don't remember if he ever played Phantasy Star Portable. He might have, but I know he played this shitty Ragnarok game. No, that was on the DS. There's a Ragnarok Tactics on the PSP.
I see.
I have not heard anything good about it, but, holy shit, I got a bunch of stuff. Hey! I leveled up. I think that was actually my, like, assistant leveling up or something. I don't know. These cutscenes are abysmal. It looks like I'm watching porn.
Except for that woman.
I mean... they usually look really bad. The porn games that have, like, extensive cutscenes where they just pose the characters over and over again, the 3D porn, or, like, 3D porn comics.
What were they thinking when
they
designed this character?
I hate the voice acting, too. Like, why did they have to go and voice everything? Can I increase the text speed? Oh, shit. I think I can skip cutscene. No, it was just over.
I
hit the select
ended.
button and thought I had skipped it.
It was weird
it's
because
so
they just had
endless.
introduced that character and then immediately the cutscene ended.
Yeah. I can now visit my room.
Whoa. This is like Club Penguin. You have your own
it's my
room.
girl.
She's
Oh my God.
good.
She just hangs out in my room She handles my schedule and my information regarding important missions. It's my wife! She's just a wife! I dig it. She's got kind of like a maid-ish outfit.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to know any of these
About
things.
the dressing
Please,
room, dude.
please, no. Yes. I don't care about my room. I already understand this concept. I played Phantasy Star Universe. So yeah, like the only game I ever bought for the PSP is one. I think it's called Spectral Souls. I think that's the one I bought. It might be a different one. I know that is a game, but hey, there's a new mission. My party disbanded. Fuck them. Anyway, the game that I bought was a Nipponichi Tactics game. And it was like towards the end of my interest, because like Nipponichi had released a bunch of games on the PS2 that all had tons of personality and wacky characters and great art styles and super in-depth mechanics, but the stories are really thin. You know, like they're interesting, but they're thin, and it takes you basically have to play the whole fucking game before the story is interesting at all. But they're still cool and aesthetic. But Nipponichi just started publishing like all kinds of trash at some point in the late 2000s. So they'd published this PSP game, and I remember I tried to play it on the bus, and the loading times were so fucking long, even just like to like start an attack animation in this tactics game, that like it was infuriating. Like I couldn't even get anything done on this one bus ride. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm not playing this anymore. This is garbage.
Nintendo Master Race.
Yeah. But
Nintendo makes the best portable consoles.
I mean, I don't think many people would disagree with that. Though the Vita is, I think the Vita is a decent console. Who should I put in my party? They all have...
Gotta put your girl, your wife.
Is that her?
No, the bottom
okay.
one.
Yeah, of course I want her. Fuck yeah.
And then put her into, as your partner, I won't let you down.
Can I have all three?
Oh.
Huh.
Sick.
No reason not to, I guess. I don't know if that, like, reduces the amount of EXP I'll get or anything like that.
It didn't look like you were having that much of a problem with that first level, you know?
I did use a lot of Monomate, though. I don't know if I should buy more. I have only 2 left. I'm gonna buy more.
I kind of like that you don't have to, like, run around the ship. Because, I hate doing that.
But it's fun!
I just want to have the shop. I just want it to be an option. I don't like exploring towns.
Always gotta have at least 10 on you. Oh, wow, I have quite a bit of money. Look at this guy. Actually. He's very like, hello. How do I... It's weird that you have to, like, navigate the ship even though it's just a menu, you know? Oh, where did you come from? What? Why are you suddenly talking to me? How did I activate this? Oh my god, I'm not trying to date this fucking bitch. Just let me go back to the mission. Jesus Christ. Cutscenes were a mistake.
Oh boy.
Okay, select mission.
Who invented cutscenes?
Did the man who invented cutscenes go to cutscenes?
He did.
Do you get it? Do you get my joke?
Yeah.
It's a Hobson reference. Anyway. Well, when I found out that the Tactics Ogre on the PSP was like the better version of the game, I was like, can you emulate a PSP? Like, I was like, surely by now you can. I mean, I'm sure you probably have been able to forever, but I had just, like, it never crossed my mind because there's never been a PSP game I had wanted to play, you know? Like, I've been emulating fucking Super Nintendo, DS, GBA, and Game Boy, NES, like, all that shit forever, you know? I've been a long time purveyor of the emulation scene, but just never thought to try a PSP. And then when I got the emulator, not only was it super easy to use because you don't even have to download a BIOS, but it was just so good. It's like the best emulator I've used.
Dude,
And I was
it
like,
runs
wow.
great on phones. Like, I have a PSP emulator on my phone, and it runs great. Like, I was playing on Final Fantasy IV, just like the re-release. That's
But then,
supposedly the best.
When I played the game, that was when I truly understood that, like, the PSP is a really, like, I mean, look at how good this game looks. Like,
This is a handheld.
yeah, this looks great. It looks better than the DS game, you
Yeah.
know, like, for sure. And it's like, I don't know what the load times would have been on this game on the PSP, but it seems like playing it on a computer removes the load times, because I haven't had to face any fucking load times at all in this or Tactics Ogre.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if that's just because the emulator is fucking genius, or if it's just the games I'm playing, if the problem was just with that one game that I decided to play. But I had always heard that the problem was the UMD discs, that they are really slow. So I'm guessing that just because I'm playing it on emulator and not having to wait for the UMDs, and it's like there's a bunch of games that have like their definitive versions on this console, such as Persona 3, Persona 1, 2, and 3. All have their like best versions on the PSP. Final Fantasy Tactics, fucking
Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah, so like
I think 5 too.
As soon as I saw how good PSP emulation was, I was like, well, now I have to play all the good PSP games. And it was such a huge feeling because it's like I just opened up a whole new console.
You just unlocked a
you know?
huge library of games.
Well, huge is an overstatement. I unlocked a library of games. It's not that big.
I don't
at
know,
least in
dude.
the US. Like I think
Just,
way
like,
more games came out in Japan.
There's like a lot of visual novels too and stuff, but yeah, a lot of them are like in Japanese.
Oh,
But,
that was it? Okay. Not bad at all.
I don't know. You're probably right. I don't know what the library for the PSP is.
Well, I know because
just
I
know
looked
that
through
there's
the
more
entire
than 20.
thing. I looked through the whole thing to decide what we were going to play today, and there was not a lot. There was, like, if I were to play every game that interested me on the console, it would be less than, like, 30 games total, you know?
Hey man, that's still a handful. That's more than probably the Game Boy Color.
And most of them are RPGs, which I did not want to play on a show. Like, I don't want to have to try to read dialogue.
Yeah.
But,
it is quite as.
Is there anything else I can do here? Like, I think I completed the mission, right? Let's go back.
To city.
In the city.
So, do you think you're gonna try to be able to do live streams with Vic?
Possibly.
Because I want to see that.
Mm.
I, as a fan, want to see that.
I
think Vic would do...
I think it'd be good.
I think if there's, like, you know, positive reinforcement while he's doing it, will motivate
He'll be less down on
him.
himself.
Yeah.
I just mostly don't want to have to organize the money. Like, I don't want to have to calculate afterwards
Right, and then you
how
have
much
to
we
have
made.
to explain to him, like,
And then
oh,
wait
yeah,
for the money to
we
come
only
in
get
a month and a half later.
1/3 of the money.
That's the thing, because it's like, well, not 1/3. I think you get 2/3. But
yeah,
like,
but then 1/3 of it goes to taxes.
and I don't know what YouTube's cut is. I
Yeah.
literally don't know. They don't give you an organized breakdown of what you get versus them. And when you get your AdSense, it's just from everything. Like, the money just comes through with the AdSense, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, I just get a big lump check from YouTube every month, which is not just this channel even. It's all my channels, you know?
You just dump it.
And I still haven't figured out the fucking, like, I still owe Tom a bunch of IM Games ad revenue that I haven't fucking calculated yet. And I owe Nate a bunch of Shield Hero revenue that I haven't calculated yet. So, you know, if I add in Victor on top of that, and it's all complicated by the fact that you get the money way later. You don't even get it that month. You get last month's pay.
Oh, and Twitch is the
next
worst
month.
about it.
Twitch is 3 months.
Yeah, it's insane.
Amazon in general is like that. Like, when I get
Yeah.
my Amazon bucks, it's all from 3 months ago.
Yeah, just like a couple days ago, you get like $100 from Amazon, and it's like, what
160,
month? What
yeah.
month was that even? Like,
I have no idea.
what even was 3 months ago?
I guess I probably have to do something else before I can go to the next mission.
How many months have we lived here? We moved in at the end of May, right?
Vision phone.
Oh no, April, right?
Yeah, the very
April?
end of April we moved
May,
in, I
June,
think.
July, August, September. 5 months,
Damn, it does not feel like that long.
right?
I've been waiting for you for such a long time. I've been waiting for you.
We've done a lot of cool traveling in that time, you know.
Thumbs up to anybody who gets that reference.
Oh my god.
Make it stop. Stop. Oh, boy.
No.
There's way too much, like, anime bullshit cutscene in this game. I
Yeah.
really don't like anime bullshit cutscenes in video games.
Especially when it's not animated.
What I love about Tactics Ogre is that it's always to the point. The cutscenes are short. Every line of dialogue is important. There's no bullshit. Like, I do think the game could have used more levity, but, like, none of this crap, you know?
I feel you
so I have to
there.
go to the conference room, I guess.
It's Lou the kitty.
What was I talking about? The PSP?
Yeah, we were talking about the PSP and emulating it.
Yeah, I got so excited playing Tactics Ogre, and then I was like, what else is on the PSP? And then I saw that it was Phantasy Star Portable,
Oh,
and
no,
I was
I
like,
asked
holy
you
shit.
if Vic was going to do a live stream with you.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he was going to just yesterday, but he got, like, sick and
And then he's like,
couldn't
I
come.
can't do it anymore. I'm going to be too busy. That's what he said.
What? When did he say that?
Yeah, remember he said, like, oh, I want to come over because, you know, it'll be, like, one of the last times I can come over.
Is that what he meant?
He said something like that. He said, like, I won't have time to.
I didn't get that impression.
No? He literally said that.
Oh, I don't remember. Hey.
But I'm sure that you guys can find time. Like, it's not like we need, like, a huge heads up, you know?
Yeah.
We're up, like, all of the time, too.
He does kind of live across town, though, so it is, like, a bit of a, like, ordeal, you know?
No, I feel you. I just, you know.
It's not, like, so simple as, oh, yeah, just hop on over, bro, but, like, it's also kind of like that.
It is,
I
definitely
can travel
like
between
that.
planets!
I just, like, you know, I'd like to know if I need to pick up my bra from off the ground or not
Yeah, before
he shows up. I'm weird about that. Like, when I grew up,
No, I think you're normal about that.
my
I'm
parents were
weird
very
about
much
that.
so like, okay, the house has to be clean before anybody shows up, like, spotless. So I always, like, will mad clean the house, like, before anybody comes up. Like, I'll clean the bathroom and stuff.
I think that's very normal, but, like, for us growing up, it was just our friends were at our house all the fucking time, and they were the ones making the mess, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, the thing about, and this is probably why it's good advice from your parents to do that, is that people will try to match the environment that they're in. If they perceive your house as being messy, then it depends on the person. Some people are really considerate. They pick up after
Okay.
themselves regardless. Some people are like, oh, your house is a mess? Well, I'm going to make it even messier.
I'm gonna
you know?
be real with you. I've been to friends' houses, and their house situation was just, like, really gross, where, like, I didn't go back.
I have too. I have done
Like,
that as well.
oh, your dog, there's dog shit all over your backyard. Like, okay, well, I don't want to hang out here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if she'll ever hear this, but, like, I had a friend who, her dog shit in the backyard all over. Her house was kind of messy. Her mom smoked indoors. And, like, one time I went over her house, and, like, the next day I went to school, and I had to go to the nurse's office and get a lice check, because apparently she, like, had lice. And I had just hung out with her the day before, and it's just, like, that's fucking nasty. But, like, being at her house didn't make me feel, like, more comfortable to be messy. Like, I was raised where...
like I said, it depends on the person.
Yeah, definitely. But, like, I definitely don't want to be a mess to other people. Like, I'll clean up after myself. It's different when I'm in a hotel, though. Because I am a slob deep inside.
There's got to be a way to make the fucking text go faster. I need to go into the options menu next time. Look at these faces.
Oh, my God.
God, it's a nightmare. All right, let's see. Let's see what kind of options.
I do pick up after I leave a hotel, but, like, I'm not going to leave it spotless,
Text
you know?
display speed. Instant display. Thank you. Oh, boy. What else we got here? Camera controls. Everything else is probably fine. I don't need any of that. Yeah. I think it's pretty normal to be like, oh, the house should look good, but, like, if it's Victor coming over, it's just like, I don't think he would have any expectations about what the house looks like.
No,
you know?
and I mean, I think that we do a pretty good job of, like, keeping the house acceptable. Like, it's never,
yeah,
like,
our house
filthy.
is not a mess, really.
No,
like,
it's just, like, you know, we're both kind of, like, disorganized, so my desk will get disorganized. I might have, like, some things on the ground.
It's really funny. When Devu came to live at my place, I had always thought of him, like, because I had seen video of his room, and there was, like, lots of just stuff around. But what, like, I hadn't realized is that he cares a lot more about, like, cleanliness than clutter. And I feel kind of the same way. I'm not as clean as he is when it comes to, like, sanitization. But, like, there is a definite difference where, like, I don't want food laying around, you know? Like, I don't leave plates out. I don't leave, like, any kind of food laying around because I feel like, oh, it's going to attract bugs or it's just going to get nasty. It's going to smell. Yeah. Like, I don't want the area I'm in to stink
clean my
and be
dishes
gross.
Every single day, like...
But, like, if there's clothes all over the ground, I'm like, I don't care. The clothes aren't... Who cares? You know, like, they're going to get picked up eventually to get washed. You know, I don't leave clean clothes all over the ground, which I've seen... I have seen girls' rooms where the entire ground is nothing but clothes. The whole floor. And it's the clean clothes and the dirty clothes are all in there somewhere in a nebulous concoction. And
that's a lot.
It's fucking crazy.
I'm not always the best at, like, making sure my stuff goes in the hamper, but, like, I will pick it up. Like, there might be, like, a couple shirts on the ground, but I'll pick it up.
I have to, since it's relevant to what we're discussing, and I'm finally, it's a lot easier for me to talk when I'm in a level.
Right. Kill those huts.
I'll tell you the story of this kid Stoney's house.
Oh, boy.
So, my friend Josh used to live with me for a while. He was a friend of mine from high school, and he had gone to live with his friends it was his friend Stoney. It was his house. It was just like a one-story house, but he had several friends living there. There was another guy whose name was Smokey, so he had Stoney and Smokey. Stoney's name supposedly didn't have to do with the fact that he smoked pot all the time, but Smokey's did. It's really funny that Post Malone's nickname is also Stoney. I feel like everybody, like every school has a Stoney, you know?
Yeah.
A guy who goes by that. But yeah, so at Stoney's house, my friend Josh lived there. Smokey lived in like a fucking like playhouse, like a playhouse that had been built over the shed. And I went to their house, and first of all, it's a pet house, so the whole place reeks. There's shit on the ground. There's hair everywhere. And, like, there was also just stuff all over the place. Like, it's a small house, so, like, even a little bit of clutter goes a long way. You know, like, there's kind of a path that's walkable through the house.
Oh, no.
And there was also junk all over the outside of the house. Like, just a pile of crap, like, on the side yard, you know. So the whole place was just the epitome of just like a rundown white trash nightmare. Obviously the parents weren't really like around that much to like do anything. Like I'd been to his house a couple of times, never saw his parents. Mostly just saw the various people who were living there who just kind of came and went as they pleased. And I had heard, like, I know at one point one of them had sold Josh's Xbox like for weed money, like without telling him, just sold it. Stoney came over and borrowed my copies of Final Fantasy 7 and 8, and they never came back. So that's the fate of my Final Fantasy 7 and 8. Very naive of me to lend them to that guy. Because the thing is that my friend Josh, he loved these guys. Like, he vouched for them super hardcore. He thought they were like the coolest guys, and like he totally like, you know, trusted them with his life, but like, you know, they're all troublemakers. Like, they were all like, they stole lots of shit, including Josh, you know, like, they would go and just like, I remember him telling me one time that he'd stolen like $300 worth of suits from from Hanes or some shit like that, or not, what's a place that has suits that's in a mall, like J.C. Penney or something like that. You know, they were just like a bunch
that's like one suit.
They would, well,
$300.
Maybe I meant $3,000. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they, you know, they were troublemaking kids, so like it's not surprising that the house was like that. But what was surprising is that Stoney, his younger sister, was one of the hottest girls in our school. She had a real nice ass. And I was in her science class with a perfect view of her ass. And let me tell you, it might have sown the seeds of me eventually becoming an ass man, which is obviously important at this point in my life. And
I guess I can thank you, Stony.
Stoney's sister, Shelby, was her name.
I see.
But I caught a glimpse of Shelby's bedroom, and that is the one I was describing to you.
Lol.
It was literally like up to the level of the bed of clothes. The whole room.
What?
Like, it wasn't a large room, but the entire
Did she not
floor.
have a closet?
I don't know. It was an impossible amount of clothes. I mean, I assume probably a lot of the clothes were stolen, since they clearly, in this house, they steal clothes. I don't know if she was stealing them, but, like, it's possible that, you know,
yeah, I mean,
someone was procuring these clothes. Because it was, an impossible amount of clothes. Like, more clothes than you have now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they were just all over the floor.
It's funny, because, like, I have so much clothes, because, like, I have been the same size since I was in high school. So, I love clothes, so I just have, like, a fuck ton of clothes, and, like, it doesn't matter how many of them I get rid of, because, like, every year I somehow find, like, a trash bag worth of clothes to, like, donate.
Mm-hmm.
But,
it was just really funny because, whereas, like, Stoney and all his friends came off as, like they're all, like, kind of, I won't call them goth, but they, you know, they dress in all black, they wear baggy pants. Josh wore perpetually the same pair of trip pants, you know, and, like, 3-band shirts, and that was it. Or like World of Warcraft shirts. You know, they looked like kind of punks, but his sister wasn't like that. Like, she was comparably relatively normal. She, you know, got decent grades. She wasn't like a problem student or anything. So it was just really like, I was not ready for her room to be like that, you know? I was just like,
right.
Wow, she's the biggest slob in this fucking house.
That's amazing.
So, you know,
boy.
that was when I learned that girls be like that.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, I had a messy room. Like,
I did too.
I definitely
all
had a
throughout
messy
my
room.
life. I mean, I'm probably the cleanest now I've ever been, and I wouldn't say I'm that clean, you know, because it's a lot easier. This might sound weird, but I feel like it's easier to keep a house clean than it is to keep a room clean, in a way.
Yeah.
Because your room can get so cluttered, and when it gets to a certain point, you just, like, are afraid to have to clean it, you know? You're like, oh, God, this is going to take all day.
Yeah, versus a house, like, you kind of have to upkeep it,
you
or you're going to have
just
problems.
mill around and pick shit up as you go.
Yeah.
You know, like, if I'm just kind of wandering around the house, I'll just be like, oh, there's Mountain Dew bottles all over the floor. Let me scoop those up real quick.
That's probably
you know?
your biggest mess, is just the sheer amount of Mountain Dew bottles you leave behind.
And tea bottles as
yeah,
well.
it's just the drink containers that really is a problem, I think.
But, you know, they're just bottles, so it's like they're, like, again, like, I would never leave, like, a plate out because it has food on it. And, like,
Yeah.
you want to get it in the sink as fast as possible before the food sticks to it. It becomes really hard to clean. But, like, if it's anything else, man, I wish I'd paid more attention to the tutorial just so I would know how to open the fucking map.
I've
gotta
definitely
be a way to
learned
open
a
the
lot
fucking map.
about, like, how to keep, like, a relatively clean environment.
There we go.
Just in the past 2 years that we've lived together, because, like,
Okay,
I was not so good about washing dishes. I didn't like to do it. Like, I would do it maybe, like, every couple of days. But, like, now it's, like, I'm washing dishes, like, every time I cook. So, like, you know, multiple times a day.
Honestly, like, that helps a lot. Like, okay, well, when we first started dating, we exclusively used, like, plastic and
yeah, but I mean,
paper.
we still cooked. Like, there still
Right.
were dirty dishes. It just, like, they only got
Yeah.
done when we needed that dish.
Right, exactly. But, like, if I lived by myself, there would be no dishes involved in my life, you know? Like, when I did live by myself, there were no dishes involved in my life. Like, except for maybe I might, you know, make myself a thing of macaroni, and, like, that requires me to use a pot. But, like, let's open that back up. Wait, where the fuck do I go? Where have I not been? Is it that tendril down there, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this level needed more, like, demarcation of where to go. Interestingly, this game definitely is, like, mostly based off of Phantasy Star universe, which I don't think you really know about.
Nope.
So, just to give a brief rundown of, like, what the hell is a Phantasy Star for all you people who don't know. Phantasy Star is originally a series of regular RPGs, turn-based RPGs, that were made for Sega consoles. It was basically Sega's big RPG series back in the day. So, whereas Final Fantasy was originally on Nintendo consoles, you had, all the different Square and Enix games. Sega had, like, Shining Force as a tactics game, and the Phantasy Star games. There was 4 of them on the Master System and Genesis. And then Phantasy Star took a rest for a while throughout, like, the midsection, throughout the, Sega's turbulent 90s. But then on the Dreamcast, they made Phantasy Star Online, which I think was the first console MMO game. Because the Dreamcast, I think, was the first console with online capabilities. So, it was a pretty popular game on the Dreamcast. They released 2 different... It was Episode 1 and Episode 2. And then when the Dreamcast, of course, died, they ported those games to all the other consoles. And I had the GameCube port, which I think there might have been a way to connect a GameCube to the internet, but I had no idea how to do it. And but what was great is it has couch multiplayer.
There was, but yeah, I didn't understand how to do it either.
So, like, me and my brothers would play the shit out of Phantasy Star Online, and you can find Let's Plays of both me and Victor playing it on Digibros, and me and you playing it on Digi and May, I think. Did we ever play it on a Let's Play, or did we just play it by ourselves?
No, I think we just played it by ourselves.
Yeah,
we did
you might
play
be right.
Fantasy Online 2.
Yes, well, but before Phantasy Star Online 2, the first proper sequel to Phantasy Star Online was Phantasy Star Universe, which was an Xbox 360 exclusive, and, like, borderline launch title. Like, it came out early into the 360's life. And, it had one huge weakness, no couch multiplayer, which really sucked. So I didn't end up playing it nearly as much as Victor did, but it had both a full single-player mode and a fully fleshed-out online mode. The single-player mode, who gives a shit, it was basically like this, like, almost identical. Like, I think this level is in Phantasy Star Universe.
It looks...
Like, what's impressive to me is that graphically this game is almost identical. Though I think Universe was actually released on the 360 and the PS2, if I remember correctly. And maybe on the PC as well. I think there might have been a PC port. There was also... Phantasy Star Online had a PC version called Blue Burst that had, like, HD graphics and, like, I think some additional content, which still has private servers that are up to this day. So if you ever wanted to, like, before Phantasy Star Online 2 came out, the best way to play it on PC was Blue Burst private servers, which I know Victor did a little of. I never did. But they started making spin-off games around the time of Universe. So there was Phantasy Star Zero on the DS, which is similar to this, but not as... It's not as good looking, certainly. And, like, Phantasy Star Zero had more in common with Episode 1 and 2, whereas this game is very clearly like a Universe spin-off. And there's 2 of these on the PSP. Phantasy Star Portable 1 and 2.
I see.
And
I
then
didn't know that.
There was also an Episode 3 on the GameCube called Card Revolution, which is a turn-based card battle game.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Like a weird, like deck-building, turn-based... It's fucking strange. It is a very weird game. I've never played any of it. I watched Victor play some of it. And then finally Phantasy Star Online 2 came out, which has yet to come out in America. It's been out in Japan for like 6 years, so it's been around for a while, but they're finally planning to release it. Initially they said it was just going to be on Xbox One, but I think they said it's going to be on PC as well. So if so, big if true. But yeah, I'm greatly looking forward to... If they only release it on Xbox One, I might honestly give consideration to buying an Xbox One. Like, that would be the system seller for me, because I fucking love Phantasy Star Online. And Phantasy Star Online 2 is awesome. And there's been a partial English patch for a long time, which we've played. You might have seen us play it on Digibro vs. Everybody, my old live stream show. But, because it's only partially translated, it's hard to do a lot of the missions and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the item descriptions are all, not translated fully.
So it's kind of difficult to play without, extensive use of guides, which I don't want to fucking have to do. So, because I want to play with my friends, and I also hate that, playing it on PC, you each have to be on different computers, which, it's like, even though I think Phantasy Star Online 2 is more fun than episodes 1 and 2, I go back to 1 and 2 more because I can play it couch co-op, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the most fun couch co-op experience that I've ever had. Like, I've played hundreds of hours of Phantasy Star Online, and it's by far the game I've spent the most time playing besides, like, Super Smash Brothers. But yeah, I've never played these portable ones, and I mean, as I've said, they are basically Phantasy Star Universe going by what I've played so far. Like, even the way that the movement works and controls. By the way, I've been playing like shit. It doesn't really matter, but like, I have fucking spells. I literally, this is the first time I'm casting a spell. But I made myself a Newman spellcaster, so like, I think, or did I pick Hunter?
I think you picked Hunter.
Okay, maybe I'm not a spellcaster then, but I have spells. They're powerful. It just hasn't really mattered because I have so many partners and stuff, and like, I've had tons of healing items. You make a lot of money. Just seems fairly easy. Which Phantasy Star Zero on the DS, I literally played through in like a day. Like, almost in one sitting. It was so short.
Was it just because there was so little in it, or just easy, or both?
Both, really. It was just like a simple single-player campaign that I just like motored on through. Because, like, okay, this is something that the Phantasy Star Online games, you know, they are initially, at least, online games. The story is terrible in the Phantasy Star Online games. Like, there's interesting aspects to it. Like, the lore is more interesting than the actual story.
Yeah.
But, like, the dialogue and cutscenes are fucking atrocious. So, like, the old Phantasy Star games, the old RPGs, have much better stories. And if you were going to play one for that, you would play those, you know? If you want to learn about the old Phantasy Star games, I highly recommend the video by Guy Gillionaire, which is a channel I would recommend subscribing. He's pretty cool.
It's excellent.
And he's a guy who lives in Japan and does like gaming retrospectives and stuff, talking about the perspective of it from both the Japanese and American side a lot of the time. It's really cool. He puts all these Japanese commercials into his videos and stuff. Highly entertaining, but he did a video on the Phantasy Star series that fucking blew my mind because I was like, oh my god, I finally know! I know all the things I need to know! You know, I never grew up with any Sega consoles, so I didn't know shit about Sega games.
Same. All I knew was Sonic.
Sonic! Yeah, I knew Sonic and Toe Jam and Earl from a friend who had it.
Toe Jam and Earl?
You never heard of that?
No.
It's a odd game. I guess I'd call it like an adventure game, sort of. I don't really know. It's like an action adventure
disgusting.
Game. It's, you know, it's very Nickelodeon-esque.
Oh,
it's like Real Monsters kind of aesthetic, you know. That whole era. That's the part of the 90s I was never the biggest fan of.
Yep, it stayed in the 90s.
Thank God.
Yep.
But, you know, I know a lot of people were into it. I think I was either just too young or too easily grossed out to be into that kind of stuff. Like, I never liked any of the, like, booger kind of humor kind of shit, you know, all the gross out stuff that, like, all the commercials that were like, ugh, gross monster slime creatures, you know, I'd be like, ugh, that fucking shit looks revolting.
Do you remember Wacky Packages?
I was not a fan of anything like that.
I had, like, all of the Wacky Packages. They were, like, sticker card sets that you'd get, and I had, like, Wacky Packages pajamas.
Is that, like, the same thing as Cabbage Patch Kids, basically?
No, they're just they're, like, cards. They're, like, collectible cards you get, but they're also stickers.
They're not Cabbage Patch Kids, but what are they fucking called? The, Garbage Pail Kids. That's what I meant.
Maybe.
That's
probably.
I always get those confused, because they sound so similar, but they're very different things. Cabbage Patch Kids are, like, cutesy. Garbage Pail Kids were like cards that were like each one is just some gross out kid, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Wacky Packages though, like it was parodies of other brands, just like gross.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like, you know, you would get Oreos, but they'd be
it's
like
a Mad TV kind of thing.
Yeah. But like it definitely was like a lot of boogers and snot and like barf.
Yeah, I never thought that stuff was funny. I was just like, why?
I just like, you know, I liked that they were using it's like more of a parody kind of thing.
It always felt to me like I think you know, even though growing up I very much was like ew, girls, yucky, right? Like, I didn't want anything to do with girl stuff. I also didn't like the kind of way that stuff was marketed to boys. Like, this insistence that's like, oh, you're a boy, so you gotta like bugs and gross shit. And I was just like, I'm not about that at all, you know?
Yeah.
I just liked stuff that was cool. But not like edgy cool, more like, you know, like cutesy cool. Like I loved Power Rangers, I loved Pokemon, I guess just Japanese shit, basically. I've been a fucking weeb since birth. I remember when I was a little kid, I remember a time when I was like 4 years old where, like, I think my mom had asked me, like, if there was anywhere you could go, where would you want to go? And I said China because I thought that's where that stuff was from.
It's really funny.
Like, I think I probably thought Power Rangers was from China.
Yeah.
Because I did not know about Japan.
I mean, that's
yet.
what, you know, they probably thought it was from too. Like, it's just Asian. Like, that's a lot of people's idea of Asian.
But think about this. This is the stuff that I was into before I knew about anime, in order. First, Power Rangers. From Japan. Granted, it's, you know, through the lens of America. But, like, I did not know that. I just thought of it as a show that was on. And I liked other like, tokusatsu stuff that had come out, like Beetleborgs and shit. But I didn't know as much about that kind of stuff. Then, next after that, Beast Wars. Beast Wars, yes, it's an American CG show, but, you know, it's part of the Transformers line, which has strong ties to Japan. Fucking Shoji Kawamori, I think, designed fucking the original Optimus Prime, the guy who created Macross.
Fuck yeah. I fucked with Transformers. I love Transformers.
I did not know about the original show until much later. Like, because I found out about it through Beast Wars, because I was like 4 when Beast Wars was on TV. You know, Transformers was way before my time. So, like, I just straight up didn't know about it until later. And then when I found out, I was like, what?
I love Transformers and I loved Bionicles.
But it didn't air on TV.
Favorite.
Like, Transformers wasn't on TV in my childhood, so there was just no way for me to
I was
really
a little
watch
bit
it.
older. Like, it would come on at like 6 in the morning or something. And I watched it a lot.
Probably in like the late 90s or early
Watched
2000s,
it, Captain Planet.
Oh my god, yeah.
I was way more into Transformers though.
I liked Captain Planet.
There were some
a little
cute
bit.
girls
I
in
just
Captain
loved the theme
Planet.
song.
Yeah, the theme song is epic.
But yeah, like, so, okay, Power Rangers, then Beast Wars. Next, next was Jurassic Park, but after that was Godzilla.
Yeah.
So, Japanese, again, didn't really know, per se. Like, I think I was aware they were Japanese, but, like, I just found out about it from a friend and didn't, you know, wasn't seeking out Japanese shit. And then came Pokemon, which I knew was Japanese, but, like, I at no point in my childhood did I make the connection that all my favorite shit came from Japan. You know, like, that was not apparent to me. It just was, it's Japanese stuff just resonates with me. I don't know why. It always has. It still remains that way. You know, like, I watch videos of people, like, analyzing Western RPGs a lot, right? Like that dude we just discovered, Seth.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know about Seth, spelled with 2 S's, it's like Seth Zenach or something like that. Fucking hilarious YouTuber. But he does like, what would I compare him to? It's like 1 part Demolition D and 1 part Donkey. Would you say that's accurate? But
yeah.
like with even more, he's even more of a meme lord than Demo. Like, even more like 4chan spawn, like, he's pretty edgy in his humor. But in a really intellectual way. He seems like a really fucking smart guy. But, like, he plays games with really complex and advanced systems that are super in-depth. And, like, it's definitely interesting. Like, learning about those games is fascinating. I would never play any of them. Because they all look like shit. They look like fucking shit. Western RPGs have the grossest aesthetics. They all are ugly as sin. And it's like, I can't play a game that looks like shit. I can't do it. Like, I'm gonna just think about it the whole time. Like, fucking Elder Scrolls.
All the women look
so
like Shrek.
ugly. And they just look, I can't, okay. I made a vlog.
I just think about Fable. Fable's like the ugliest.
God, Fable, the character designs are
Fable,
so hideous.
like, gives me nightmares. Like,
what were they fucking thinking? The faces are gross and like,
and It literally is, like, just set in the world of Shrek.
I did play most of Fable. It does kind of feel like it's set in the world of Shrek now. Maybe that's what they were going for. Maybe. I mean, Shrek was really popular.
Oh, boy.
But, fucking, yeah, like, there was this analysis video we watched that's, like, well, we didn't watch all of it, but it was 5 hours of Oblivion analysis.
It was super interesting.
It was very in-depth, and he talks for, like, a while about the problems with the NPCs and, like, the awkwardness of, like, he talks about, like, both, he's definitely a huge fan of the game and talks about, like, the pros and cons in a lot of depth. He's very fair about it all, right? And he talks about a lot of the, like, the awkward quirks of the NPCs, but he somehow doesn't mention the fluoride stare. Like, by far, the defining characteristic of the Elder Scrolls to me is how jarring it is that the characters look you straight in the face when they talk to you, unblinking. It's terrifying! I can't play games that look like that! It's not okay with me. Whoa. Photon charger. Did I even... Okay, never mind. This'll heal me up.
When I played Oblivion for the first time, I was so proud of myself for spending like 2 hours in the character customization stage, making an attractive character.
Impossible.
It was fucking hard.
I don't believe it. You actually accomplished that.
I made like a dark elf girl. But she was kind of jank. But that's all good.
Let's check our fucking storage space here. Okay, we got plenty of space. Just making sure we're not, barreling towards a file that corrupts. I have constant paranoia that everything's gonna break now, since I've had so many tech issues over the last couple months. If you ever wonder what slows down the human content machine, tech issues are a big one.
Whoa, because
it's not only that you lose what you were working on, but you become afraid to make other things. It's the fucking dragon. This boss is the first boss in fucking, what the fuck? Universe. So, like, this is literally the same level. Dayragon. You remember that in the game that in episode 1 and 2 there was D-Ragon.
Yeah.
But now it's Dayragon. His design is different,
It's a little diff.
I should be able to hit like multiples of his legs using this attack if I angle myself right.
Here it comes.
But yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so much easier to play games that are aesthetically good looking and interesting, and like I also just Western RPGs tend to have more interesting themes, but Japanese RPGs tend to have more interesting characters, and I want games that strike a better balance of that, which like I do think that there are certain Western RPGs I do love. I love Mass Effect because I do think it has like the most interesting lore, some of the most interesting characters for sure. Great theming, great writing. It's also not overly complex and hard to learn like a lot of those other Western RPGs are. Like, I appreciate the level of freedom that is like prioritized in Western RPGs, and like that's what a lot of Westerners like about RPGs is the freedom afforded. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't really have fun that way. Like, I don't come to video games to express myself because I express myself outside of video games,
Yeah.
I come to video games to to be told a story and to like experience mechanics that are satisfying on their own, and like I don't really come to video games for like thought-provoking mechanics necessarily,
Right.
I think it's really cool that you can do like if I hear about like Seth talking about like Dwarf Fortress or something and like describing one of his games that he played, it's like, yeah, that sounds fucking insane. It's really cool you got to do that. But like, look at it. It doesn't look like you're doing that. Like it's interesting conceptually, but like the actual experience of playing the game does not look fun at all. It looks like a miserable nightmare, So I can't say it interests me that much. But, I want to have more of an open mind about it, but, like, it's such a time investment to get into that kind of, like, super complex game, or games that, like, require you to really get good.
They are addictive, too.
I'm sure. I don't know, like, for me, if I, like, start up a game and I immediately lose a bunch of times, it's hard for me to, like, want to continue,
Yeah.
like with roguelikes or roguelites, I'm not good at them, you know? And like, it's really funny when I hear, like, for instance, Red Letter Media, they had Rich Evans and Jack had a show called Previously Recorded where they did game reviews. And like they would review a lot of roguelites and they would basically complain about them being too easy a lot of the time. And I'd be like, I can't beat the first level on that game, you know?
Right.
They'd be like, oh, you know, Risk of Rain is cool, but it's a little easy. It only took me like 20 hours to get to the level 4, and I'm like, 20 hours? I expect to be done with a game. I do not want to... What the fuck? Oh, we beat it. Okay.
Dun 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 dun.
I do not want to have to be involved with a video game for hundreds of hours. It's just not my style, you know?
Speaking of not
at least not
to
by
be
myself.
Involved with a video game for hundreds of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Should we end the episode here?
Well, yeah, I just beat the fucking first major boss. This is about as good of a
big
fucking
come.
stopping point as we're gonna get.
That was pretty excellent. You didn't even have to do it again. We covered a lot of topics here today.
I feel like I could jump right into a second episode, though.
Probably. I want to go flip the laundry, though.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll take a rest, and maybe we'll
Yeah.
come back. Or maybe after we'll take a rest, and we'll go, oh, actually, I feel great now. I don't want to... I do not want to go back into the fire. I want to get to a save first, though. So I had to skip all this bullshit, retarded
Whoa.
dialogue and fucking
Who's in
terrible
that
cutscenes.
Gooch.
It really feels like a porn. Like, it's freaking me out. I watch a lot of 3D porn. This is what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, when they actually fuck and it's animated, it's good. But when it's just like the being like posed for cutscenes, it's awful. I mean, at least she looks okay. Most of the character designs are pretty abysmal. One of the best things about Phantasy Star Online 2 is that they really improved like character customization and just all the character models.
They really
like,
cared about, let's make it look good.
Well, because they
can do it
realized
this
that,
time.
hey, we can have, like, the sexiest girls and, like, give you the ability to adjust your fucking tit size to an exacting... Like, you can shape the tits to exactly how you want them.
Make one a little bigger than the
glorious.
other.
The character I had in PSO2 was, like, the hottest fucking character I had ever made. I don't know about the one I did in the playthrough that you and I were doing, but the one back when I was, like, playing it more seriously. Oh my god, I want to save my game! I don't care. Why are they talking so much? Why can't I skip it is the real question. Like, why is there not a start button to skip?
The white-haired guy reminds me of from Log Horizon, the NPC who gains sentience.
Which one was that?
The one with the crazy name who was like a kid.
I remember the maid who was like a Chinese farming bot. Oh, you mean Rindlehouse Code?
Yes, Rundlehouse.
Oh, that guy reminds me.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the old guy.
No.
That's why I was like confused.
No, just the way he looks reminds me of him.
Yeah, he has that kind of personality, I guess.
Yeah.
Holy shit, she is just...
She
is
is
going
really is
on.
like a wife.
Oh, boy.
Free missions updated.
Oh, I can do free missions that I don't have to fucking...
Party disbanded.
go through the story. Alright, get me to a fucking save, please. Yes. Oh, I clicked no! Well, that was a lie. I do want to save. How do I, there we go. Alright.
Oh, you saved.
That's it for this episode of Digi and May. I'll probably cut some of the early part of me just, like, fucking around with the settings.
You should.
Yeah, Miguel out.